Welcome to the Build Your Life Coaching Biz podcast, where you get to learn how to become a professional life coach and start an online coaching business from scratch. I'm your host, Krista Kathleen, a professional certified coach and spiritual business mentor. In 2016, I got divorced and left my full-time job as a registered nurse and decided to bravely answer my calling of becoming a life coach so I could help to change lives as I traveled around the world. And now I want to help you discover your purpose too. Having the freedom and flexibility to be your own boss and make as much money as you want right from your laptop will be one of the best gifts you ever give to yourself, your family, and the world. In these episodes, I'll give you real coaching combined with proven strategies and spiritual practices in order to help build your dream coaching business that feels perfect for you. Hey coaches, welcome to the Build Your Life Coaching Biz podcast. And before we dive into the content this week, I just need to take a moment to vent with all of you because I had a really hard week last week. I brought home a case of COVID from my trip in St. Bart's, and it started off with that little throat trickle or just that like uncomfortable feeling in the back of your throat. And before I knew it, the next morning I woke up and it was just like a massive pounding headache, pressure in my face, couldn't breathe, body aches and chills. As soon as it happened, I already knew it was COVID before I tested because I had the same symptoms last year and got COVID then too. And then, so, coming back from vacation, you already feel like you're behind, you're already stressed. And then that happened. And then my son ended up getting sick as well. And I was watching him all week by myself since his dad had him for a week prior when I was on vacation. And it was just a really hard week. And I was in the sick vortex. I was so out of it. I was just in survival mode. It was tough. But I'm happy to say that I'm starting to come out on the other side of it. I'm not 100% yet. I just got done working out, so I'm starting to get back into my routine. And I will say a win is that, and you guys are going to hear me talking about this a lot this year, is I started drinking celery juice first thing in the morning, 16 ounces of it, fresh celery juice, nothing else. It's recommended by the medical medium, Anthony Williams, and he has a whole book about it. And I had a lot of different people in my life tell me about Anthony Williams and celery juice. And so finally, my intuition was like, you need to try it. And I started drinking it in December, and I've been drinking it almost every day since. And just, oh my gosh, the things that have instantly changed in my health since I started drinking it has been absolutely mind-blowing. The biggest thing is my brain fog. I would just wake up every day with this constant brain fog and heaviness and pressure in my head, and it wouldn't go away. And I learned that it's from all the toxins and chemicals and pesticides and that we're consuming on a daily basis. And so it builds up, and the celery juice helps to clean all that out. So that's been my favorite perk. And then I decided to drink it, throughout. I mean, I'm going to drink it every morning regardless, but I was like, I'm curious if this is going to help clear up my symptoms faster. And I really do believe it made a difference, because when I had COVID last year, I was out of the game for 2 weeks minimum. And then it took another week or two after that for my symptoms to go away. And with this time around, I was only really down for about 5 days. And so I'm already so impressed with a month, a month compared to about a week here this time. And I don't know, maybe it's a different strain or something, but I really do think the celery juice has something to do with it. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, I recommend reading the book first. Just I think it's called Celery Juice Cleanse by Medical Medium. on Amazon. And I'm happy to answer your questions, but I am just a huge believer in celery juice, and I'm gonna tell everyone I know about it because it can just heal and clear up so many medical issues in your life. Maybe I've already talked about it on the podcast. I don't know. But okay, so thanks for holding space for me to vent for a moment. I feel better. And yeah, so as I was doing my workout tonight, I was like, oh, I want to record something for the podcast. And we're in semester 2 in the Born to Coach Training Academy. So I'm teaching my students about how to build their online life coaching businesses, how to start finding clients, how to market themselves, how to sell their coaching offers, all the fun stuff of being a business owner and running a life coaching business. And so yeah, that's what's present in my life right now. And so I was thinking about, I wanted to, for everyone listening here, I wanted to help you guys if you're struggling with finding coaching clients. And, this is usually one of the main things that coaches struggle with. And so I just wanted to share 3 things that could be standing in your way of you finding coaching clients and some quick fixes, because I want you guys to be hiring people, and because that's how you make money, that's how you change lives, that's how your coaching skills get better. And as I think it was John Strassner or someone from the Prosperous Coach said, if you're not coaching clients, then you're not a coach. And I put that quote in my Born to Coach Training Academy material. And, I don't know if I 100% agree with it, but if you think about it, it is kind of true. If we're not coaching people, then what are we doing here? Right? Like, I mean, our coaching skills can definitely benefit us personally, and they will. Like, I mean, it's skills you're going to use consciously or subconsciously for the rest of your life. But I think if we really want to make, a bigger impact and, like I said, make a career out of this, then we need to be hiring and finding clients. So let's talk about that. So the first thing that why you might not be finding clients is you might not be putting yourself out there to actually meet new people and start having conversations. And I want you to think about it like dating. So I recently got on the dating apps again just for fun, even though I'm totally committing to being single for the next year. And so when you're dating, if you think about it, like you can't just sit, in your house by yourself all day long and not do anything. Like you're never going to meet someone that way. You have to like get on the dating apps, or you have to go out there and do speed dating events, or you need to just like go join hiking groups or take yoga classes, or just put yourself in places where you can start meeting people, and then from there, right, hopefully start finding the right type of people and having conversations, and then that leading to dates. So a lot of times I see coaches that they're thinking about, they're talking about finding clients, and they're thinking about finding clients, and they're worrying about not having clients or finding clients, but they're not actually like taking action and putting themselves in situations where they could find clients. I mean, right? That makes sense, right? And I mean, you can do this online, you can do this in person. I think there's this myth that we have to be, we can only be successful life coaches if we're finding people through social media. And I personally think the best way to find clients is in person, just because there's more of that trust factor. When you do stuff online, it takes longer, and you really do have to build up the rapport and the relationship first. And I feel like things move a little bit faster within doing stuff in person. But I just remember, it's like and to be honest, like I'm guilty. I'm an introvert. I prefer to do stuff online, but man, every time like I make the effort and I go do things like cacao ceremonies or breath work workshops or qigong workshops or hiking groups or like or even just like even business networking groups or going to TED Talks, like every time I make an effort to attend those events and I just naturally start talking to people, and then of course it comes up like, what do you do? And you just tell people like, I'm a life coach and this is why I became a life coach and this is why I love being a life coach. And it doesn't have to be like anything salesy, or you don't even have to. I don't even really like the whole elevator pitch thing, to be honest. um, but from there, just people get naturally curious and they start asking more questions and they start saying things like, oh my gosh, yeah, I've thought of, my friend has a life coach and I've been thinking about hiring one myself too, right? Like, oh my gosh, that's such a good like invitation to take that next step. And we'll talk about that in step two. Or they'll be, oh, life coach. What is, I've never heard about that before. Tell me a little bit more. What does a life coach do? What does a life coach provide? Right. Um, so yeah, that can be how it's happening in person. And then how it can happen online is what's happened with me is I always like to join different coaching groups or like mastermind programs. And somehow I always end up finding clients that way, because if you think about it, like you're putting yourself in an intimate container with like minded individuals. So I remember when I hosted my first Born to Coach Training Academy class back in October 2021, one of the students that signed up, her and I were in a 6-month mastermind together with this coach, Rebecca Rubin, and we connected online and she followed me and she wanted to up-level our coaching skills and get her ICF credential. So, right, that was a way that happened. Or, you create content, right? You can create content through a podcast like I'm doing right now, or YouTube or Pinterest, or host a Facebook group, or even if you don't want to build up your own online audience, you can join other people's audiences. You can join other people's Facebook groups. You can be a guest speaker on someone else's YouTube channel or podcast that has a complimentary audience. So yeah, to bottom line this for step one is like, you got to get up off your butt and you got to be going somewhere where you're going to be meeting people and having conversations where you can tell people what you do as a life coach. All right, so that's already going to make a huge difference right there. So I want you to like look back at your past couple weeks and see like, what are you doing in your free time? Like, are you making the effort to put yourself in those types of situations? And how many people have you introduced yourself to as a life coach? And if you can say 0, then that's a good reason that maybe why you aren't finding clients right now. So that's the first one. The second one is you need to actually be inviting people into something. So a lot of times we just assume like people are going to know how to hire us. People are going to know how to find us. People are going to know what to do. Please don't ever, ever assume that. That is definitely going to keep you stuck and not finding clients. So like we were talking about in step one, once you start telling people you're a life coach, and then they're like, oh, that's so interesting. And what does a life coach do? Or, oh, I've been thinking about hiring a life coach. And then that's where, you got to be actually inviting them into something. Do you want to invite them into a discovery call with you? Do you want to invite them into a sample coaching session? Do you want to invite them into, maybe you have like a workshop coming up that talks about the benefits of life coaching, or maybe you have like a freebie or a lead magnet or something that can help them to get started, or resources. Like, you got to be doing some kind of inviting. And I know that that can be really scary, um, because a lot of times we think like, oh, what if I get rejected, or what if the person says no? But and that could happen, but as I say, like, you always have to get through. You gotta be able to hang with the no's to get to the yeses, and getting no's is not a bad thing at all. It means that you took action, you put yourself out there, and eventually you're gonna get a yes. So please don't be afraid of the no's, and I would actually, every time you get rejected, every time you hear a no, please celebrate that, because that's a big deal. That's you taking action. That's you putting yourself, out there. And so, yeah, it can be scary to invite people to things, but so you can either be, like I said, doing this in person when you're having these conversations, or you can do it online as well. Like, you can do it, through a Facebook post or Instagram, or you can do it, through your YouTube channel or YouTube videos or your podcast episodes. My call to action at the end of every podcast episode is inviting people into the Born to Coach Training Academy and checking out the program details. And then, I'm constantly talking about the Born to Coach Training Academy throughout the episode, and same thing with my YouTube video as well. And because I don't want to assume that people know that I have an ICF accredited coach training program, because most of the time they're probably not going to know. So it's my responsibility to tell them and invite them into it. Or think about it like, I mean, even like if you're having a party at your house, like say you're having the party of the year and you're so freaking excited for this party and you've been planning for it and you have all these yummy snacks and you have all these fun games planned. And then the night of the party comes, and then you're just sitting in your kitchen twiddling your thumbs, because guess what? You didn't actually reach out and invite anyone to the party. Excuse me. So it's the same thing with your business. Like, if you have a really awesome coaching offer that you're excited about, well, you can't just assume that people are going to know how to find you or reach out to you. Like, you got to actually go out there and invite people into it, so they know how to show up. They know how to find the party. Right? So that's the example I always give to my clients and my students. Is I'm always like, have you ever hosted parties at your house before? Yeah. Okay. And what were some things you had to do to, like, get ready for that party and have a successful party? And I kind of get people into that mind frame. And it's like, once we shift into that, everything kind of just seems to, like, make sense, right? It's the same thing. Like, yeah, our coaching offer is the party. And then we need to invite people to the party. And that could be like direct reach outs, or it can be like a general invitation on social media. Can be a combination of both. I still do a combination of both 8 years later running my business. All right. So we need to be actively inviting people into something and not just assuming that people know where to find us or how to find us or how to work with us. And the last one, this is the most important one. I save the most important one for last, is you have to believe that you have something truly valuable to offer people that's going to change their life. And I truly think that this is the biggest one that prevents most coaches from finding clients, because it's really hard to sell something that we don't believe in. And a lot of times I see coaches trying to sell coaching and they've never worked with a coach themselves. So already that's out of alignment, because it's really hard to get on a sales call or even get on a video and say, let me tell you why my life coaching is amazing and why I decided to become a coach and how coaching changed my life. And now this is why I want to offer you coaching. Like, you're not going to have that story, right? Um, so yeah, it's really important to experience working with a coach, so we understand how valuable coaching is and what it's like to receive coaching and how that can impact our life. And then to really like study coaching as well and understand like what you're doing and saying. A lot of coaches are self-taught. I was self-taught for about a year before I went through ICF accredited coach training, and it was really challenging to sell my coaching from that place because I was just like, I felt like I was guessing all the time and I was kind of just like blindly throwing darts in a dark room. That's what it felt like. And it was like, I don't know if what I'm doing is working. And that was affecting my confidence levels. And then I was like feeling guilty for charging money because I didn't know what I was doing. And then once I went through coach training, I started studying professional coaching and really understanding the tools that we use in a coaching session, like powerful questioning, active listening, silence, reflecting, metaphors, accountability, goal setting. Um, then I was able to really like tweak and fine tune my coaching to a way where my clients were getting way better results. And then I knew it was just so much easier to talk about my coaching offer and sell it because, again, I really like understood what I was providing and why I was doing what I was doing. And so, yeah, after a couple months after going through coach training, that's when like my sales just started soaring, and I made the most money I ever made as a coach. And it's why I so firmly believe in going through an ICF accredited coach training program, and why I created my own ICF accredited coach training program, and just such an advocate for coaches to work with a life coach and to get formal and high quality education and training, learning the ICF model, and then applying it to your coaching process. When you do those two things, you're going to really, really, truly understand that you are offering something so incredibly life changing and valuable to the world. And from that place, it's just going to be so much easier to talk about your coaching and so much easier to sell it. And then people are going to feel your passion and your excitement. And I mean, think about it this way. Think about like if I got on a sales call with someone and I was like, and this was like my energy, I'm like, yeah, yeah, I'm a life coach. I don't know if what I'm doing really works, but I guess you can try it if you want. I don't know if you're gonna like it or not, but yeah, yeah, you can give it a go, right? Like that's how a lot of coaches are like kind of energetically trying to sell coaching. Like you can't sell coaching from that place. Like you have to sell coaching from this like, oh my gosh, I want to tell you all about why I decided to become a life coach, how life coaching has totally impacted my life, and you know, the type of coaching that I love to provide for my clients, and the type of results that I've been able to get my clients through life coaching. And right, as you can see, like when you can come from that place, it's just so the energy is so completely different. And that's what your potential clients are going to lean into and feel. And they're like, oh my gosh, like, whoa, I'm into, you have me, you have my attention. I want to hear more about this thing. And so yeah, that's why inside the Born to Coach Training Academy, um, a lot of times coaches are like, okay, well, what should I do first? Should I hire my own life coach and work with my own life coach first, or should I study and train to become a life coach? And I think you should actually do both at the same time. Excuse me. And it's why I had one of my past graduates, Valerie. She is now our ICF accredited support coach in the Born to Coach Training Academy. So all of my students get private coaching sessions with her so that they can work on changing their own life and upleveling their own life while they're studying to become a life coach at the same time. I don't know a lot of other coach training programs that offer something like that. So I think that's one of the cool bonuses and perks about our Born to Coach Training Academy. And then we're also ICF accredited. So, what that means is I've had to go through a really like standard and rigorous process over the years to make sure that what I'm teaching my students is the best of the best out there, that the coaching practices and the methodologies that they've been proven over and over again. They've been well studied, they've been well researched, they're rooted in positive psychology and adult education, and they really do work. And I get feedback from my students all the time, and they tell me how much and I see it myself too, but they tell me how much their coaching improves. And they'll start working with some clients before they join the academy, and then they'll continue working with those clients throughout going through the academy, and their clients will give them feedback of like how much better their coaching becomes as they're going through the academy. And I love when my students come back and tell me that, and I'm like, well, yeah, of course, like of course your coaching is going to only keep getting better as you get more formal education and training. So yeah, that was a long-winded answer, but really just, yeah, making sure that you believe in what you're offering. You believe in the power of coaching, you see the value of coaching, and you speak to that. And if you don't feel like life coaching is valuable yet, and you don't see the value in it, then you most likely need to work with your own life coach first, and also go through our ICF accredited Born to Coach Training Academy so you can really learn how to coach at the professional certified coach level so you know what you're doing. I don't want to say you don't know what you're doing, but if you're self-taught, there's a lot of guessing and there's a lot of not knowing what you're doing. And I speak from experience because I was in that place at one time. So okay. So let's just go ahead and quickly review. So the 3 reasons that you're not finding clients probably, and how to fix it. Hold on, let me take a drink. Okay. Still got some drainage stuff going on from the COVID stuff last week. It was just so sexy. um, Okay, so the 3 reasons is, 1 is you're probably not putting yourself in situations to be meeting new people and having conversations and telling people you're a life coach. The second is, you might not be actually taking the initiative to invite people to come onto a discovery call with you, or like do a sample coaching session with you, or something else that brings them into your funnel. And if you don't know how to do a sample coaching session, if you don't know how to run a discovery call, we teach you all that in semester 2 in the Born to Coach Training Academy. So don't worry, just join the academy. I will teach you how to do all of that. I got you. And then step 3 is really believing in the value and the power of coaching and sharing your own transformation story of how life coaching changed your life. So all right, y'all, that is what I got for you today. I hope that you found that insanely helpful. And if you love my vibes, you love my energy, you want me to be your coach, trainer, and mentor for 2024, and you want me to help you to get certified and earn your ICF credentials and set up your coaching business and help you to start finding paying clients and start doing this full time or part time and making money doing what you love, please check out the Born to Coach Training Academy. The information will be under the show notes, or I think this will go on YouTube later. It'll be under the video. And then on our sales page there, you can book an enrollment call with me where I will meet you on Zoom, and I'm going to be getting to know you, asking you some questions, really understanding what your goals are with building your coaching business, and answering any questions that you have about our program, addressing any concerns, and yeah, just making sure the program is going to be the right fit for you. And then once you're ready to go, I'm going to help you get enrolled and ready to go for our April cohort that's going to be starting here in a couple months. We already have students starting to sign up. So I want you to be a part of the spring 2024 class if this is your year to become a professional life coach and leave that soul-sucking job behind and literally say yes to the best career in the world. All right, I love you guys so much. I am home. I've been home for a while now, just sitting in the driveway. People are probably going to think I'm really weird, but that's okay. I don't care what people think. So, all right, I will see you guys in the next episode.
I'm so grateful that our paths have crossed at this time. And if you're ready to up-level your coaching skill set and learn how to confidently coach at the transformational PCC level in order to help your clients get bigger breakthroughs and better results, then join our Born to Coach Training Academy at buildyourlifecoachingbiz.com/certification.